finals today as well.
Yeah, you know, I did actually hear that Jakob Schubert tried that route as well.
I've seen mantle-ish moves before, but never one quite like that. So it'll be fascinating to see. So Manon Healy.
This has been a classic move that we've seen a bunch. It was on the head wall of the men's route. I feel like we've seen it in a bunch of bouldering comps that reach up with your right hand and then have to hand-foot match on the palm on the left hand.
Here, another slightly unsettling position, but the women's, the bottom of the women's route isn't too hard. It's just designed to get them pumped a bit.
Yeah, and these holds probably feel a lot better than some of the holds did in qualifiers and semis, with just better conditions that we have this evening than we did in the morning.
So Manon Healy is 3 clips in, and then she goes into the pinches up high. Those holds you can see. Yeah,
they're really thin, so they look like jugs, but because you don't have your thumb in the right spot, they're actually more pumpy than you think that they would be. It really engages your forearm a lot more than just a classic good hold would. So yeah, they look like they'd be really, really good, but they actually, yeah, make you more pumped than you expect.
Can Manon Healy hold it together through the beginning? It's just a case, I think it's just to get to this mantle not pumped is the key for the bottom half of the women's route.
Yeah, looking pretty comfortable so far.
Up she comes. Now, this is the beginning of the mantle sequence, because eventually she'll have to be stood up on the top of the surface of that volume.
Cutting her feet. You can see her trying to figure out what to do with the feet there. I can't tell exactly, but those volumes might be slippery texture. It's really hard to tell from on the ground usually, but which makes it quite the surprise when you get there on the route and you're like, wait, there's no texture on this volume. But I think those are, I think only the red section of that volume has texture, and then the white section is the slippery dual texture.
So even harder then. She has to be careful not to stand on that. Presses upwards.
It looks
such
like
a deep
pretty
push.
Far mantle, yeah. I'm seeing her move her hand up. That looks like good beta.
And then I guess she's going to bring her left foot through. She does.
Yeah, really smart way to get through that section, especially her being one of the shorter competitors. I wonder if we're going to have to see some of the other women do that as well.
Okay, well, she's done the first match move. She gets to sit underneath, but there's a jump coming up, and you can see she's going to go from the red screw on the edge of the white volume all the way out to that white ball on the right of your screen.
Yeah, that's a pretty big dyno. I know the men had a dyno in that same section of the wall during qualifiers, and it really was a huge bottleneck. A lot of men fell there, and I heard some of them say that it was just gigantic, way bigger than they thought it was going to be. So you really have to jump here, probably.
So Manon Healy will set herself up here. She eyes up the distance. She needs to get the range first time, though. Up she comes, and no.
Yeah, that's a really big dyno. You have to more the people behind it, I think, than the actual facility. You know, our coach, Josh Larson, has been a really integral part of that.
He's a legend.
Yeah, and, you know, now we have people from all over the country moving to Salt Lake. I was one of the first people to move to Salt Lake, and when it became clear that we were going to have a training center, and then, you know, just more and more people have ever since then, and have had the opportunity to, especially once they are done with high school and, you know, into college and university. So, yeah, lots of people are moving to Salt Lake. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
And Natalia is definitely one of those people who has benefited from that. She moved out here and is doing college or university online. Out here to Salt Lake City, not to Villars. And, yeah, has been, you know, training up a storm in the training center.
Yeah, she's looking so good. Had an early slip in Innsbruck, as did pretty much everyone else. So really, this feels like this is the actual beginning to her season, this one.
Definitely, and you know, switching from bouldering to lead, it's just a different mindset that you have in a final. You obviously get multiple tries and multiple boulders in a bouldering final, and in lead, you only get one try, and you know, have to really show your best on that one go. So switching from back and forth is always difficult, but I'm sure she's finding her flow now.
Yeah, she certainly looks like it. Lovely move up
she's
to
really
that position.
Good at mantles too, so I'm sure she's going to look pretty comfortable on this move.
So Manon Healy got to this point, and then she had to readjust and bring the left through. Natalia will rest here as well. She makes the press, but now she's thinking about the left foot.
Yeah, also kind of making that same decision as Manon. Really flexible.
Yeah, matches the foot to the hand, and then she'll be able to sit there for a sec.
Wow, that hurts my back to watch.
Oh, just, doesn't it? I'm glad you said that. So there she is. High right, pressing into the rear. I said that looked like quite a good resting position. I don't think it is, actually. It looks
yeah,
awkward.
it is. Those mantles into, like when you're pressing above your head on overhang like that, they are just really tenuous. You can't really let any part of your body relax, so it maybe isn't quite as good as a rest as we thought. You know, she is a boulderer, so this is a big jump, but nothing she's not done before. So
she sets herself up, goes for it, and feet above her head through that move. Awesome stuff from Natalia. Now she will have another chance to rest. That jump just looked more in control than Manon's method of it.
Yeah, I think you just really have to go for it. So like I said, you have to really over jump on these jumps a lot of times. And so if you under jump at all, you just don't do it.
So Natalia with a big shoulder lock off, and then...
And I think this is where it's going to start getting really hard, just to try and separate all these really strong women. It's going to have to be really hard through this next section.
Yeah, the crimps coming up are just terrible. Similar to the men in that slopey style of crimp. High right foot from Natalia. She crosses all the way through. Will have to swing the legs now over to the left. Oh, fighting for the heel.
Yeah, missing that heel hook. Getting it back on, though, and suddenly looking very comfortable again.
Yeah, for a second I thought she was in trouble, but she managed to get it in.
Yeah, looking like she's trying pretty hard now. You can kind of see that right arm shake. And that holds quite blocked as well. Really good rest here, though. You get this stem and can take a lot of weight off your hands, and you're about to hit the head wall where it does lessen up on that angle, and so you have the ability to rest some more and take some weight off your hands with your feet.
So these are the horrible crimps I was chatting about. They're slopey, and suddenly you go for those big moves to having to get the fingers engaged and crimp again. Natalia, though, up on the final volumes.
Yeah, she was looking really good in training last week in the Clutter Zentrum. Fighting through this move, though.
Oh,
sticking it.
Wow.
It.
And then two shoulders through.
And once again, a pretty strenuous position. So finding those feet through these positions and being able to think while you're this pumped is so hard and really important. And she's really good at that.
Now she gets the clip. She can find a rest. You think she could be onto a top here. Having trouble with the chalk bag a little bit.
Yeah, some bad next holds too.
All right, well, photographers. And then, of course, there's just a safety section built in down the front. So Natsuki Tani is underway.
She has just incredible endurance. I'm sure she's worried about that dyno. But I don't anticipate her seeing her have much trouble getting there.
Yeah, so remember, this first part is just about keeping yourself not pumped, breathing through the moves.
Yeah, this is rather straightforward for the beginning of a World Cup route, I would say.
Maybe they were scared from last week. So we've just been informed that Manon Healy will go again for her run because the rope, there was something to do with the rope being in a dangerous or dodgy position.
She maybe got short roped on that jump, so it maybe pulled her off a little bit if they didn't give her enough slack. I guess we'd have to see a replay to know, but that would be the only thing I could think of getting a rerun in finals, which I don't know if I've ever seen before.
No, I don't think I have.
I wonder when they'll have her do that.
Well, we'll tell you more information when we get it, but yeah, presumably at the end, but I don't know, maybe next.
Yeah, they have to make sure they give her enough rest, so Natsuki really fingertips out to that hold above the volume there, but making it work. She is, again, one of the shorter competitors.
Such a cool shot, that, with the just one leg, one hand. And then this is the mantle, the press up.
Yeah, this move's interesting because, you know, you can see them reach for it. Oh, she made it work.
Easily.
Then, yeah, usually they have to reevaluate, but the position is really stable so that you have that ability to reset.
Well, I tell you what, if she was thinking about the dyno, this is the moment to really think about the dyno because she is facing it now. It's a long way. She's 152 centimeters. Not the tallest, and it's a big jump. Not which height will make a huge difference to this, but it's just another factor in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Watch that on the wall.
Thinking about that that dyno, but you know she knows that it's not her specialty, so I think she'll probably really try to over jump for it, which is good. That's what you're going to need to do for this move.
And I guarantee the smile on her face will be pretty epic if she gets it. So Laura, quick through the bottom of the route. She knows it's not too difficult. She'll have the experience.
Yeah, I loved her post from last weekend. I don't know if you saw it on Instagram, but if anybody hasn't seen it, I thought it was quite good. So
tell us, for those who haven't, if you can summarize it.
What was it? It was only a matter of time before I'm on the podium again. And she said literally, because she lost out on last weekend on 3rd place by time only.
Yeah,
so,
4 seconds was in it.
Yeah, and then it was pretty good after that as well, but I'll let people read it.
Yeah, go check that out. So Laura quickly through the bottom of the route.
Yeah, just a really good attitude, I thought, perspective on the competition last weekend, and so I'm sure that she is really excited to show what she's got this weekend.
Yeah, I've noticed a bit of a change in that attitude. Sometimes she can be quite hard on herself, and you can see it, but at the moment she's making a real effort to sort of have a change in the way you can see it when she walks onto the stage. It's interesting to see that.
Yeah, I feel like you've seen that from a lot of the Olympians, especially. I think it was just such an intense and hard year last year that in order to keep going this year, you really just have to be a little bit kinder to yourself. So I feel like I've seen that a lot, actually, from a lot of people who went to Tokyo last year.
Well, Laura is underneath the mantle now, gets the high heel on the left. Ooh, missed the hold initially, used it as an intermediate.
Yeah, that almost looked intentional there.
Yeah.
Going for a high heel up on the volume. Interesting method, but looked good.
Yeah, now she goes towards the right. And this is the big press move for her.
Yeah, making it through with really good time so far.
So easily in and easily up with the left foot for Laura.
Yep, so you're just making sure it's on the hold, actually. Not the place where you'd want a foot slip. Not that you want a foot slip anywhere, but...
Especially there when you're setting up and your mind might be somewhere different. You want to make sure it's precise.
Yeah, the present moment is something that's really important in lead climbing especially, is making sure that you are staying in the moment. If you're climbing the whole beginning of this route thinking about this dyno, you're likely going to mess up the beginning of the route. So making sure that you are focused on what you're doing and then, you know, worry about this when you get here.
Well, here she goes,
wow.
And she holds it.
Yeah, like I said, she really jumped, which she needed to do, so that was really cool.
Awesome from her. You can hear the crowd building her up to that moment. She didn't hesitate very long.
She's probably feeling really psyched now. I bet that was what she was really worried about after route preview. And so, you know, having stuck that, I bet she's feeling a lot less pressure.
So will Laura continue on to the top? She looks like she's got the energy for it.
Seeing a crazy match there. Matching that hold and now readjusting it. Some people are just so good at matching holds that really is just amazing to see, actually. You know, she's one of those people.
Yeah, Laura bumps out to the white volume. And now needs to go up. The further she goes, the wall will start to be less overhanging, but she's got a bit of a fight left. And this is a big jump for her as well.
Yeah, sticking it, wow. A little bit of hesitation, but, you know, again, as soon as you stick those moves, you get to relax for a second and be psyched that you stuck the move.
So she gets the heel locked in. That method of tying her shoes, so many people comment on that. She's always done it. Since I've been watching her, that's the way she's tied her shoes.
Yeah, I don't know what that's for, if the laces are just long or it's to hold the heel in or something or what, but it is pretty iconic, I feel like, at this point.
Yeah, it's the Laura look. So what a shot that is. There's our sunset. Nice to see it. The mountains in the background as Laura Rogera climbs towards a possible podium position. She's in second at the moment.
Yeah, here you can hear the music changing in the venue right now. They start playing the more hype music when people get this high up on the wall.
Well, that's the head wall.
Seeing her pulling the rope there to make sure that the clip goes all the way in. Reaching all the way to that hold. It's just so far and so blind there.
Now she stands on the sloper. A good foot match, that.
Yeah. And again, once you get onto this head wall, you kind of get a little bit of moment to relax, just because the angle changes and you're able to take weight off your hands a little bit. I think she'll like this next hold.
Oh! On a middle climb again. We reckon she might have got short. Okay, here we go. Once more, back on track here. 4 women yet to go this evening. She has this slow start to things. She just doesn't want to make mistakes down low, and you can see that, really precise with her movements.
Yeah, looking calm and collected though as well. Honestly, the most important thing is at the bottom of the climb. If you're used to climbing slowly, that's usually not a bad thing to climb like that. It's more just how you're feeling mentally, if you're calm in the moment, or if you're, you know, kind of frantic and thinking ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot with climbing. The more I certainly get involved in it, you realize that it's not just sort of a matter of holding on. There's just so much more. The mental game, the physical side, the conditions start coming in.
Yeah, I think definitely kind of like what I was saying when Natalia was climbing, something that she's really good at is when she's pumped, making a smart decision. And that's, you know, it's easier said than done for sure. It's really easy to just try and like match a hold or move a foot or something, but if you really precisely place a heel or lock off something, or, you know, there's better choices a lot of times, and if you choose them, it's really good. I
guess the route setters have thought through every single move on this route. Like, there's a method, there's a way. So you have to, if you can sort of figure that out, piece it together. So Ryu gets a high left. Foot, similar to how Laura was thinking about it. And then she'll probably swing feet on the other side, which she does.
And she's a fair amount taller than a lot of the other competitors as well. You can kind of tell just when she's doing these moves that she's just reaching through them a little bit easier.
She'll press up then. So working at that hand position, because you'll know she'll probably have to put a foot there in a minute. I'm sure that's in her head as well.
Definitely, and I think you could also move your hand later there. Kind of not a bad way to do that move. You know what that next hold feels like, and so then you can be more decisive to put your hand back to the other position and then do that move knowing what that next hold feels like.
So good stuff from Ryu at the moment. 3:55, she's got time, and now she gets set up for this jump. We've only really seen one athlete fall on it after Manon Healy got to climb again. So here she goes, right foot on that hold. That's all she's standing on. Sets herself up.
You can see the hesitation, but
it's a big committing move, this. Oh, she's thinking about making
clip first. I feel like that maybe isn't the best move. Sometimes on these big dyno moves, you don't want to get tangled in the rope, so.
Oh, she didn't get tagged.
Yeah, she's definitely been really working on her lead climbing. That's why she skipped the Brixton Bouldering World Cup, was to be able to focus on lead and get a little bit more training in before the lead season started.
And that extra week, that was enough to get in what she needed.
You know, who knows? I think partially it's also, you know, for your brain. Like I said, switching from bouldering to lead can be kind of challenging, just mentally too, just the way you approach the wall, how engaged you need to be. Bouldering, it's kind of high intensity and you can fall, whereas lead, you need to be a little bit more calm and have to stay focused. And so just kind of having that time to reframe and know what you're working on is, I think, even valuable.
So Brooke with a high foot. She's so good at finding those high foot and resting positions with the heel.
Yeah, she's so good at locking off heel hooks, and, you know, her fingers are super strong. So I feel like she always makes these sections look so chill.
I know that she drives route setters crazy with that one, because they're just like, what do we do? You know, there's only many blocked heel hooks you can put in.
Yeah, I remember climbing with her in the Rocklands and just being amazed at the heel hooks she was finding. This was years ago too, you know, 2018 I think, and so we would try boulders together and have just complete opposite beta, so it's pretty amazing.
So she's locked in for the mantle. No one struggled coming into the mantle. It's just something a bit unusual. Brooke looking really fluid.
Yeah, looking really calm. She does a really good job, I think, even in bouldering too, of like making things look really flowy.
So Brooke is stood up now.
Yeah, I'm gonna see her clip this. Kind of scoped how that next hold feels, so, you know, kind of preparing for that next section. Kind of as I was saying earlier, one of those important things about lead climbing especially is finding a head bar.
Legit, totally legit move. There we go.
Being able to look ahead in those sections where you can, but stay present in all the other moments. So, you know, this is a great opportunity when you have that stem and while you're pressed in to stay in to look ahead, and then right here, now you have to stay really present. She's also gonna clip. Or maybe not. She just made sure she had enough slack.
All right, here we go, the big jump.
Come on, Brooke.
Oh, thinks better of it. She nearly went. She's going to go resting, just get that left arm a chance. It is bad, that hold, isn't it?
It doesn't look great. It's not really good for two hands, for sure. Yeah, definitely making sure she has enough slack there.
So here she goes.
Yeah.
Good work eventually. Wild swing. It went with the swing as well. She wasn't trying to fight it necessarily.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Everybody who's stuck that move has really let their legs kind of go wild, and I think it lets you kind of break up that momentum from that move.
So Brooke is looking good here in Villars. That shows you how horrible the hold is. Right, she makes the clip. This is the move that Laura had to jump for. That Manon managed to keep her foot in a real display of body tension.
And you can see her readjusting that right hand, making sure it's good.
Around the rope, bit of an awkward.
Blind move there. You can see her using the. Oh, I thought she was using the bolt hold cover.
I thought so too.
Or not the bolt hold cover, the bolt hanger cover. Yeah.
Easy for Brooke. And with the heel. So now I guess is where her route properly begins, is from this point onwards, because we're nearing the podium positions now.
Yeah, definitely. And since she did come out in 3rd place, if she gets a high point, she's guaranteed podium. This move is really far. You have to really reach for it. That was really good.
Gets those fingers in, and now she has to be careful with her feet here. Again, that beautiful foot swap we saw before.
And then that left foot is the one we saw Laura's foot slip off of, so definitely need to keep the pressure on the feet. That's something that's really important in lead climbing on these routes, especially with the weird feet positions. You have to keep pressing on the foot positions.
She looks more comfortable on those feet than Laura was, and she will move forward.
She's looking less pumped than Natalia was here as well.
Wow, Brooke is on form. So here we go. The fight, just a little bump there with the foot.
Yeah, that was really good, Beta. Looking pretty calm. If she gets this next hold, that's high point.
So Brooke is nearing the gold medal position with 2 more athletes to go.
And she's got that hold, so that's guaranteed podium for Brooke. She's looking really good.
No point does she look like dropping any of this. This is excellent from her. So she's 1 quick draw to go before the top.
Yeah, it looks like the next couple moves look hard. You get this pinch, and then I don't really know what you do to come into that next undercling. There's not really a foot option. You have the volume.
From that angle, it looks like you can run across it. You can't. It's too slopey for that. It's just the camera playing tricks on you. But she will be able to walk on it. She's going to have to bump over
wow.
Oh. So she looked like she's just getting herself warm. The temperature has dropped again. Perfect conditions here tonight. Shoe protectors on, and they're gone.
You know, I've seen an athlete step on the wall before with the shoe protectors on and have to take them off.
I suppose you have to stay on the wall as well. You can't come down, it won't count. Oh, that'd be awful.
But that's a heart drop moment.
Ah, terrible. Well, we saw, I can't remember who it was in Innsbruck. I think it was Brooke, actually, who, was it Brooke? Maybe, yeah, I can't remember. But someone had to adjust their shoe at the top of the wall because it come off.
During qualifiers, yeah.
That must have been, and she made it look so smooth, kind of looked down and was like, oh, my shoe's undone. But
I've talked to her before about like things bothering her on the wall, and you know, if her shoe's undone or like if her hair is in front of her or something like that. And so she was talking before like that it just annoyed her, like her whole speed run or something, that her braid was in front of her face or something. So I'm sure it was. Actually, when she was climbing that, I saw that. I was like, oh, I bet that's in her head. And then, of course, right when she topped the route, she tied her shoe again. Yeah,
that's so interesting, the little things athletes do. All right, Xian So comes to the mantle.
Yeah, looking really smooth through this bottom section. And also an amazing outdoor climber. She went to rifle in the United States and absolutely just demolished a bunch of climbs.
So she clips, rests a little in that wonderful position, and now presses up towards the volume, gets that in easy with the left foot through.
Yeah, climbing really smoothly. I feel like she hasn't really stopped at any point. She's just been kind of motoring through.
You can almost hear the breaths from afar, the way she's breathing. It's just calming. Let's see this jump. As Kyra said, she should be on form for this.
Yeah, she was also an Olympic finalist. Yeah.
Yeah, she's used to the big stage, no pressure. Out she comes.
Oh, wow.
And that is an enormous, whipping around at the bottom.
Spin.
There's a niggle or anything.
Yeah. Sometimes it's nice just to remind yourself that you know, it's there and it's fine. The tape, I feel like that's what it's the best for me. It just like reminds me that it's fine or something.
Yeah, you're protected a little bit.
And now after a quick start on this climb.
Yeah, last weekend in Innsbruck, she climbed very slowly through the bottom section, but she knew that everyone had fallen off there, so she tweaked her style. We didn't see those flicks and dynamic moves.
Yeah, you know, when you're coming out last, you're usually used to waiting a really long time, and she did not have to wait very long in Innsbruck last year, and so I think that can be really nerve-wracking in a totally different way.
So Janja is underway. She's got 6 minutes to get this done, and will need to climb high on a wall for victory. You can see on the left the leaderboard. The audience certainly silent at the moment as they watch her climb.
Yeah, really good conditions out here now.
I guess that's the advantage to qualifying in this last position. You know, especially in these hot summer months, you're out in the cooler part of the day.
You didn't see it there. It was off camera, but she just was hanging one arm and campused in. Very Janja style.
So into the shoulder move, chalking up all the time.
Yeah, she climbs with such like gusto or something. I don't know how to describe it. I think we all know, but it's really fun to watch.
So Janja is stood up for this jump, but as we've just seen, anything can happen on it. And so we thought we'd make easy work of it and struggled. So deep breaths at home if you're a Janja supporter, because this is the first big moment for her. She goes right hand, she'll want to try to match it, and then we'll realize how bad it is, and then gets the left through. Awkward match to get set. Sets herself up.
Easy work from Janja. But getting that foot up right away and stopping that swing, that was cool.
Yeah, similar to the way Laura did it, just went with the swing.
Yeah. So something that's kind of interesting maybe is you can kind of see sometimes on these close-ups that there's those black marks on the holds and it maybe says a number or something. That's actually from the route setters, so they obviously have set these climbs before this competition has started, and so those are the marks on the wall and on the holds that they use to remember where to place them and you know what number it was on the wall and things like that. So you'll see like a little plus mark, and that's how they know exactly where to put it. Janja avoiding that match. Everybody else went left hand there and matched it, but that was a really smart method, actually.
Yeah, and she didn't have to reach across to that blind hold. So Janja now turning on the flare a little bit. She flicks the legs.
And here's where you get that heel hook, yep.
So here we go. She's towards the head wall. This is where you need to really think about the feet.
That was a good beta there. She put her foot out right away and actually is kind of skipping this little other tip on the volume. There she goes.
Now she finds it, presses in. She'll have to keep the weight through the feet though.
Really going straight to that other hold. A lot of people we saw kind of have a problem getting all the way to that hold that's blind around that volume. And she just had no issue.
Different foot beater as well. Didn't do that match method. So now this is where Laura fell.
Making it through that.
So Janja's guaranteed third.
And Janja did beat Brooke in the semifinal, so if she ties Brooke on this move, it will not go to time. It'll go to count back, which Janja would win on.
So this is the last couple of moves for Janja if she wants a gold. She's in bronze. Brooke will be looking on nervously from the throne down on the stage.
Janja looking quite comfortable up here. Same as Brooke. Brooke was looking really comfortable at this position as well.
So she's checking out that slab. Look at the eyes darting. She's working out the sequence before she gets to it. Making sure she's well rested for this.
Yeah, and she knows it's not a matter of time, so she's in no rush to get through this section. And this foot is really good, this one.
So this is where Brooke found the hole.
Yeah, if she goes for this move, then it'll be a tie for Brooke.
So there's the difference, 37 plus versus 37. Janja, one move away. She's going to go towards it, center of mass, hand moving. She's going to pop for it.
Wow. Making it look easy. That was really cool. That's a cool move up there.
That is a cool. I said you couldn't run across it, but she almost did.
Yeah, I think the mistake Brooke made there was just trying to reach it, and she almost could, but I feel like that was a very Janja style move. And getting yourself to do that way up high on a route like this is so hard to do.
Look how chill she looks as well. It's brilliant.
I think this must be a double for the last move, because that hold looks too bad to just grab, and there's no foot for that left hand. So you're going to see her go both hands here.
Here we go. She launches, gets it, and just needs to, well, clip that last draw, and Janja wins
and
another
psyched,
comp.
Yep. Wow.
No mistakes from Janja Garnbret. She does it again. If there were any people...
Both men's and women's, so that's pretty exciting.
You guys rule. So that is our podium. To Team USA on the top spot, and that lady there, Janja Garnbret, on the top spot where she belongs at the moment for lead. Awesome performance from those women.